Okay. And welcome to Pecten Toastmasters Club. Today's meeting is aptly themed theme, and I would now call the meeting to order. First, to run through the Toastmasters promise. Kindly read along. You do not need to speak while I am speaking to. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters meetings. Next, I'll read our club mission statement, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Thank you, and this meeting is now called to order. I would now hand over to our president, Toastmaster Tari, to officially kick off.
All right, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I see the hand clap. I see it, I don't hear it. So except your video is on, that's the only way I can see it. Well, good evening, and glad to be here again in another Toastmasters meeting. Glad to have all of you beautiful faces before me. It will be great to see more cameras turned on so that we can actually read each other's expressions as the meeting goes along. If you're in a safe and an okay place, put on your camera, that would be much appreciated. Welcome to our second meeting in the month of November. And this month has really run fast for me. I don't know about you all. It just seems as if we said Happy New Year yesterday. And now we're in November, not just in November, today is November 15th. So half of the month gone already. And for people like us that try to set goals at the beginning of the year, sometimes it seems as if, how did we think we're going to achieve all this by this time of the year, you know? But then we keep on moving, we carry on, we keep doing what we need to do, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and hoping that we actually, you know, make things work at the end of the day or at the end of the year. So we keep moving. Another meeting is here. We will do this meeting. It will be a great meeting. We believe that something will be said or heard or learned that will actually make a difference in our lives. Because at the end of the day, if we do not learn anything, then we haven't achieved anything here. So great to see all our members, those from other clubs, the DTMs, the TMs, every guest. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. It's going to be a packed meeting today. We have a fantastic training session that I'm really, really looking forward to, evaluate, to motivate. And it's interesting for me because that is a major percentage of what we do here in Toastmasters, and that's evaluation, you know, and we're going to hear more about evaluating and how we should evaluate and all of that from none other than the former president of your Premier Speakers, Toastmaster Nameti Akpan, someone I respect very much, and I'm actually looking forward to that session. We also have two speeches from within and without the house. I'm also looking forward to those speeches as well, because I'm sure we'll learn something great from them. And after that, we'll have our area director visiting us. I'm sure she has something to tell us that will make a difference in the way we run our club activities, and that would help us move forward, especially with achieving our DCP goals. So it's a packed meeting. Our theme for the month still remains style. I don't know what style is to you. For me, style is just a manner of way, a manner of doing things, the way you do your own thing. Now, even though in Toastmasters, we are trained to kind of sound professional, still, it is encouraged that you have your own unique style. So I'm hoping that with this theme today, it will somehow light a bulb at the back of our minds that even though I am a Toastmaster and this is the general way we do things, my own unique style is still important enough to be brought to the table. And I believe that all the role players will carry out their roles with panache and will be intentional in everything we do here today, the things we say, the things we respond to, the way we respond. Can we also please use the chat box? Since it's a completely virtual meeting, let's use the chat box. Let that chat box be buzzing and alive. If it's time to applaud, you can have the discipline to unmute, applaud, and then mute back so that we don't have interferences. I believe that the Toastmaster of the day would, throw more light on what's the do's and the don'ts of today's meeting. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. She's a lady of style, and one, I must say, presents whatever she brings to the table with a lot of panache. You've heard me use that word twice, so it should tell you something. Her name is Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. She's an entrepreneur, and she belongs to 2 clubs, Victoria Bay and Lernto Toastmaster clubs, and she holds positions in both clubs. Her hobbies include shopping, cooking, and listening to conscious lyrics. I wonder what that is about. And her favorite quote is, "Nothing good comes easy." And indeed, it is true that nothing good comes easy. So without further ado, please let's put our hands together. Unmute if you can. Let's put our hands together and welcome the magnificent, beautiful Toastmaster Josephine Agolo as she takes it on from here. Welcome, Toastmaster Josephine, over to you.
Thank you very kindly, our president, Toastmaster Tari, for that very warm introduction. At some point, I was beginning to wonder, okay, hope these people have not changed the Toastmaster of the day, because the introduction was not seeming like me. Thank you so much. That was done with so much panache. Without wasting so much of our time, I would like to go into what I'm supposed to be doing today. Like the president said, my name is Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. I will be the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day is like the MC of an event. And so, who is dancing in my head? Yes, I'm going to be dancing with style today. Yes, the theme of today's meeting is style. And I ask, what is style for you? Style for me is anything that makes me very comfortable. I don't want to be like you. Don't try to be like me. It's originality. Just be yourself. And at Toastmasters, we are encouraged to be ourselves. You don't like to speak, you don't need to speak like Toastmaster Essay. You don't need to speak like Toastmaster Joy. Just be yourself. Continue to refine yourself and become better and better each day. That is what style is for me. But an unknown author, style is a way or the way to say who you are without having to speak. People just know that this is who this person is without the person introducing his or herself. So it's totally originality. So at Toastmasters, what do we do? Toastmasters is a place where we try to learn and upscale in our public speaking skills and our leadership skills. And that is the reason why we are here. And we could only achieve it by doing. By doing, you see yourself growing from strength to strength. These days, I will just tell you, I wasn't like this before. My growth is amazing me talking like this. Oh, wow. I'm even wowed by my own growth. Because before I'll be shaking. Hey, God, where will I start from? But now, I'm not much relaxed, a little bit of confidence, still working on myself. I'm not there yet, but I think I'm growing. And I encourage everyone, please, time, all right, thank you. Thank you for calling me back. If not, I will talk till the day closes. All right. Secondly, I would like to let us know that we have 3 segments of the meeting. Our president has introduced the segments of the meeting to us. The first segment is the extemporaneous speaking segment, which is the impromptu speaking segment, where we are meant to speak for between 1 to 2 minutes. The second segment is the prepared Let's Speak segment. This is where Toastmasters have prepared speeches based on their pathways, and they come to present and will listen, will learn and grow with panache. The last segment, which is the segment that I love so much at Toastmasters. If that segment was not at Toastmasters, I don't think I will be here. The evaluation segment. This is where we get feedback from all that we are going to be doing at today's meeting. And we'll be getting feedback based on what we have done well and what we need to do better. The person that will be taking up that segment today is my friend, a personality with so much panache. I am hoping to be like this person when I eventually grow up. He is an energy professional, past president, OSCT Speakers Club, Division K PQG, completed innovative planning and visionary communication pathways. His hobbies involves football and experimenting with music. His favorite quote is, "Where you are born is never as important as what's born in you." It's his own personal quote. If your hands are not too busy, join me as I welcome to the virtual podium our general evaluator, the indefatigable Zing DTM Jokes Wambweze. The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Josephine, Toastmaster of the day. Even President Bubu does not get introduced like this, so thank you very much. Greetings, Toastmasters and guests. It is my utmost joy, privilege, and honor and excitement to be here in this lovely Pecten Toastmasters meeting and to serve as general evaluator. In that capacity, I'm leading a team of evaluators who will be evaluating everything and anything that happens in the course of this meeting. That said, I have mentioned that I'm leading a team. I will now introduce that team to us to tell us a bit about the role they'll be playing in today's meeting. I will start off that round of introductions with the person serving as our grammarian for today, none other than our very own president, Toastmaster, Dr. Terry.
I don't know why that always makes me laugh. Thank you very much, our DTM, our Zing DTM. I'll be serving as the grammarian for today's meeting. And as the name implies, everything that has to do with grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, name it, anything that has to do with the way you speak, I will be making a comment on at the end of the meeting during the evaluation segment. Also, another part of my role is to introduce the word of the day. And we have already started using the word of the day, glad to see. So the word of the day is panache, P-A-N-A-C-H-E. Okay, it's on the screen. Panache is the word of the day. And as it sounds, you may guess that it's actually a French word. And it means flamboyant confidence of style or manner, the manner of way in which you do things. But when it is confident and flamboyant, then you are set to deliver your tasks with panache. An example is that she played the role of grammarian with great panache. Another example is Rhoda always wears her stylish outfits with panache. It's a pretty simple word to use. And I hope that going forward, out of this meeting and beyond, we will find ways and times and opportunities to use this word. Other synonyms, or synonyms rather, for this word include charisma, dash, flair, swagger, and style. There are a lot more. So panache is the word of the day. I'll also be listening for its usage throughout the entire segment, and I hope we actually achieve something at the end of the day. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Thank you, grammarian for the day. And you can see I made an effort to show panache here by putting on a jacket. I was making a joke that the last time I wore a jacket was probably a year ago. So this Pecten is a full demonstration of panache today, throwing on a jacket for this meeting. Our next role player today will be our accountant. And performing that role today is a procurement engineer who currently serves as the president of Oil City Speakers Club. He's currently on the pathway or the path called strategic relationships, having already completed one. He loves playing football. Favorite quote is, whether you think you can or you can't, you are probably right. Welcome with me, our counter for today, Toastmaster Tosin Olorunleke.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Chooks. It's always nice to see Toastmaster Joy, giving support whenever they are reading my favorite quote, because we do share a favorite quote. Today, I will be the accounter, and anyone who speaks with PANACHE knows that you're trying to pass across your message with as little words as possible. One of the elements that cause us to be verbose are what we like to call pause fillers. Today, I will be helping us check our pause fillers by looking out for them. These pause fillers include words like or even actual words that we just repeat and use unnecessarily. So I'll be taking note of those words, and I'll be giving a report on their use at the end of the meeting. I'll also be performing as the listening evaluator, which means I'll be testing our listening skills by looking out for quotable quotes, like we like to say, and I will be asking who said them to make sure that we're actually listening. So wait for that, and maybe if you win, maybe you have a prize. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Thank you, and back to you, distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Toastmaster Tosin. So let's see if we'll get a winner there today. Final for this round of introductions will be someone really special to me, to us as Pecten Toastmasters Club, a writer, a professional enjoyment baby girl. You already know who I'm talking about, who loves reading, talks to us about books all the time, loves eating free, delicious food, emphasis on the free, and exploring creative works. Her favorite quote, examine the labels you apply to yourself. Every label is a boundary or limit you will not let yourself cross. That quote by Wayne Dyer. With that said, welcome with me for our timing evaluation today to tell us about the role, first of all, Toastmaster Esther Ogene Okereka.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. Today, I'll be serving as the timer to make sure we keep track of our meetings. Part of being a seasoned communicator is also knowing how to respect people's time and use time well. Use it with panache and grace. In sharing the timing rules today, I will be using visual cue cards, which I will be flashing on the screen. When a speech is qualified, I would flash the green card. When the speaker is or has to start rounding up, I would flash the yellow card. And when they have a 30 seconds grace period to leave, I would flash the red card. Today, we have two planned manual speeches that are both for 5 to 7 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, I would flash the green card. At the 6-minute mark, I would flash the yellow card. And at the 7th minute mark, I would flash the red card. We also have two discussions that would be happening today. For our training sessions, it's for 15 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, I would flash the green card. At the 12th minute mark, I would flash the yellow card. And at the 15th minute mark, I would flash the red card. In addition, we would be having our table topic sessions, which is supposed to be between 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, I would show again the green card. 1 minute, 30 seconds, I would show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I would show the red card. I encourage all of us to actively be aware of our timing. Show that you're a person of panache by ensuring you keep to your time. Thank you, and I'll give my reports at the end of the meeting. Back to you, the Zing DTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Esther. Done with grace, with style, and obviously with panache. And with that said, our introductions are hereby concluded, and we hand this back over to the person who, without a doubt, will be the most frequent user of this one called panache today, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Toastmaster Josephine Agolo.
Thank you very kindly, our DTM, the Zing DTM, the panache DTM. You already know. Thank you to all of your team members. They came with so much swagger. Well done to all of you. Yes. Right about now, we will move to that segment, personally if I was not in this meeting today, I would have flogged myself. You know what? Criticism is actually not meant to kill the roots of a human being. So at Toastmasters, we try to learn how to give evaluations with empathy. And that is what this training is all about. Quickly, I'll be introducing to us with PANACHE, the trainer for today's session. My system wants to deceive itself. Sorry, let me quickly. All right, thank you, our Zoom master. You act with so much panache and swagger. No wonder you are called the baby girl. Thank you. Our trainer for today is a lifelong learner and a teacher who believes in the infiniteness of human potential. He is the immediate past president of Uyo Premier Speakers Toastmasters Club and a honored member of Kuwait Challengers Club. His favorite quote is, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," by Steve Jobs. If your hands are not too busy, join me as a welcome to the virtual podium, our trainer for today, the one with panache, Toastmaster Nameti Akpan. The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you very kindly, the very vivacious and effervescent Toastmaster of the day. And very warm greetings to you, members of Pecten Toastmasters Club. And I guess I see my friends, and I wanted to say family members, but I don't know if I have family members here today. So I want to say warm greetings to everyone on the call. Yes, I see Toastmaster Tosin, Toastmaster Chooks. I already greeted SA President, Josephine, Michelle, Amara. Yes, the DTM Godknows is on the call. Abiodun, Ugochukwu is SA, acting with PANACHE. I see you twice. Chituru, Kaine, and Tobore. Yes, Ekuchi James. Yes, I'll never forget that name. And then my very special friend, Toastmaster Former. And then the shoe collector, Toastmaster Fumi, I see you. I don't have time, and I know that I don't have time. So I'm going to ask you to type in the chat box. If you've ever had a memorable evaluation in your life, type a 10 in the chat box. One evaluation in your life that stands out. I don't want you to mention the name of the person who evaluated you. Just type a 10 if you've had a memorable evaluation in the chat box. Okay? Ekuchi says yes, 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 yes. Mwabweze, yes. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Fumi, yes, yes. Tari, yes. You've had a memorable evaluation. Hold it there. What made it memorable? Don't tell me. What made that evaluation memorable? Don't tell me. Have you ever had an evaluation that left you feeling bad, demotivated? Okay, type a 5. Don't type a 0. Type a 5 in the chat box. Just feedback. Yes, 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 yes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Point is made. All of us on the call have had a point where we've had an evaluation that left us feeling better and motivated, and one evaluation that left us feeling demotivated. We're going to take this walk together, and I'm going to ask you at different points what made that evaluation memorable. We're going to do this together. Let's take this walk together, because I believe that there's always something to share and to learn from each and every one of us. So I love pictures. I love pictures and I love images. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Hello? Yes, we can.
Wonderful. I love this image, and I don't know why. I just want you to focus on the image for 10 seconds. So now imagine that what you see as plants are the speaker, is the speaker, and the hand that you see there in that image is the evaluator. Just imagine that for a moment, that the plant is a speaker and the hand is an evaluator. Okay, so before we continue, I'm going to ask you, what makes an evaluation helpful? Type in the chat box. What is the function? Why do we need evaluation? What's the benefit of evaluation to the speaker? Okay, personalize it. Why do you remember that evaluation that helped you? Why? I'm going to read these ones out. Okay, someone said constructive criticism. I don't want you to generalize it. Let's personalize it. What is that thing that made you make that evaluation memorable? Okay, focus on improvement. It inspired me. Someone said it inspired me. I did better the next time I remembered. Beautiful. That's a Kuchi. SSA, I got a real-time example I could connect with. A real-time example. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, while the other answers are coming in, we'll just go straight back, and I'm going to share some just personal thoughts. First of all, I think that the intention of evaluation in Toastmasters is so that we can improve. In one word, we can become better, and then we can grow. But do you know that both the speaker and the evaluator benefit from evaluations? How do evaluations benefit speakers? We already know that. It makes them become better. It makes them become better speakers. And in every meeting, we spend about 26 minutes on the average, according to Toastmasters. 26 minutes is allotted for evaluation. That shows you how Toastmasters envisages feedback. Now, beyond improvement, evaluation helps to build and maintain self-esteem. Please underline the word self-esteem. Now imagine that you have a calling to build and maintain someone's self-esteem. You have a calling to build and to maintain someone's self-esteem. In other words, someone's self-esteem is in your hands each time you want to evaluate the person. How would that affect the way you carry out evaluations? Okay, so I am going to divert a bit from some of the things on the screen because I have some personal things to share. So I want to share with you something I learned recently. An evaluator plays three major roles. The evaluator is a motivator, is a facilitator, and is a counselor. Three things. Please, I'd like you to note that, and I'd like someone to type in the chat box. An evaluator plays three major roles. He or she is a motivator, he or she is a facilitator, and he or she is a counselor. As a motivator, the evaluator must make sure that after the speech, the speaker wants to speak again. If a child does something or your child does something and then you give corrections and the child doesn't want to go back to do that thing, it means that the person is demotivated. But after every speech, the speaker must want to speak again. As a facilitator, the evaluator helps the speaker to learn like a teacher, learn about things he or she doesn't know. And as a counselor, he is like a therapist who gives the speaker ideas on how to overcome fear, how to overcome stage fright, how to deal with shyness and other parts. But let me ask, what are the three major qualities that an evaluator must have? I want you to type in the chat box. What are the three things you think every evaluator must have? Three things. 3 skills. Okay, skill sets, core skills. No wrong answer, Toastmasters, no wrong answer. Empathy, Toastmaster Toasting. Empathy, perfect. Listening, active listening, perfect. I can take that to the bank. You know the thing I said, take it to the bank, give us the change. Dollar is rising, but with this, we can buy dollars. With this knowledge you are sharing on this call, you know. The panache which we bring to the screen. Empathy, knowledge on the topic, listening, kindness. There's one that I think we should mention. One. I'm waiting for it. Okay, let me say it. Honesty. And I picked this from Toastmaster David Dokun, who came to give this training in our club on Sunday. He said that you can be frank without being fatal. You can be frank without being fatal. And people talk about brutal honesty, brutally honest. I think that more than being brutally honest, we should be carefully honest. Carefully honest. So you are honest with care. You are caringly honest. If there's an expression like that, Toastmaster Tari, Toastmaster, I say, you have been a champion. If you can be caringly honest, if there's something like that, because you want the person to grow. Okay, so show that you care. How do we do evaluation? Show that you care. Then the next one is personalize your language. Let me go back to the slide. Personalize your language. Toastmasters recommends this all the time, that we must learn how to personalize our language. So use personal language. In other words, don't just talk from an authority point of view. It's a personal opinion. Let us hear you say, I saw, I felt, and I heard. Tell us what you saw, what you felt, and what you heard. Listen actively. And then let me also mention this. Use positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. Then evaluate the speech, not the speaker. Evaluate the speech, not the speaker. Then nourish and talk about self-esteem. So I think that before the speech, you have to talk to the speaker about the objectives of the speech. And this is what Toastmasters recommends. Just let me know when my time is up. I don't have any intention to take longer. So this is something I learned recently. Let me ask, how many of us feel good after the speech if someone calls us and then tells us this is how you fared? I mean, virtual meetings, not during. How many of us feel good that after the speech, someone calls you, oh, thank you, timer. The green gives me some hope. I'm going to slow down a bit. How many of you feel good that after your speech, someone calls you and says, this is what you did well, this is what you did well. I feel great, I do. Thank you. Now, in Toastmasters, we're expected to build each other. And during virtual meetings, sometimes people don't have time to send evaluations. People will just send 1 or 2 lines. But after the speech, I always recommend, if you are the evaluator, call the speaker. 2 to 3 minutes is quite a short time for you to care enough. After the speech, there are things you should say on the call, there are things you can say after the call. So while the evaluation benefits the speaker, it also benefits everybody. But trust me, just to show that you care, when you call the speaker and begin to talk, you will notice that you could talk for 15, 20 minutes. If that has ever happened to you before, you would know this happens all the time if you care. So evaluation is beyond the meeting. It is before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. And if we can do this, I believe that it helps us, each and every one of us, to grow. But beyond that, I still want to ask you this powerful question. What do you think
is the benefits to the evaluator. Why? What does the evaluator benefit by evaluating other people? As an evaluator, what's your gain? I want you to type in the chat box. What do you gain? What do you gain by evaluating someone else? It builds his level of empathy. Learn how to be patient and listen. Empathy. If you teach something, you get to let it twice. Ogochuku, ese, anekuchi. Thank you. Thank you. Patience, Amara. Patience. Because you give of yourself, you become more. Because you serve, and in Toastmasters is we rise by lifting others. So each time we offer evaluation, we empower others to become better versions of themselves. And like I said, through that picture that we saw in the beginning, we help to build another person's self-esteem. And guess what? Everyone who ended up in the championship has confessed that they all joined Toastmasters as an ordinary member. All the world champions. And if we were to gather all the evaluations that they have had all through their journey, from their club members, from personal friends, trust me, what you see on that world stage is, I don't want to say dollars again, but it's the beauty of the panache that comes with beautiful evaluation. Thank you very much for your time. I want to end by saying that in evaluation, everyone benefits. And just like you've been with me to share your thoughts on evaluation, feel free to also share your thoughts with others each time they ask you, whether you are the main evaluator or you are not the main evaluator. At every meeting, like after this meeting, I'll expect Toastmaster to call me and say, Toastmaster Nameti, I didn't like this thing. You could have done better. And that really takes me to the last part of evaluation. Please always suggest ways for improvement. Positive reinforcement is important. I love this. I love your vocal variety. I love your eye contact. You did this well. You can do this better. And then I see you becoming a better speaker. Build self-esteem. With this, I like to say thank you for your time. And if you have any question or suggestions, I would like to get it and your evaluations, as I'm going to hand over to our very delectable powerhouse Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. Take it up with great panache. I know what you know how to do. Thank you. Thank you.
Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, you will agree with me that that training was done with poise and panache. Please give our stylish trainer a rapturous round of applause. Can I hear the hand? Please unmute. Thank you most graciously for that in-depth delivering of how to evaluate to motivate Toastmaster Akpan Nameti. That was very, very insightful. If you have learned from the nuggets on how to motivate, on how to evaluate to motivate in this training, please kindly drop panache on the chat box. Panache, swagger, stylish. Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Yokushi. Thank you, Toastmaster Fumi. Thank you so much. Well done. It was an awesome session. Thank you. I totally agree with you. Yes, right about now, we will segue to that segment known as the extemporaneous speaking segment, where we learn how to speak off the cuff. And the person that will be handling this session today, let me quickly grab his profile.
It's not there. Please just go on. TMOD.
Okay. All right. I would like to bring to the virtual podium our indefatigable, the holy DTM, Godknows Forh, as he takes us through the table topic section. DTM, Godknows Forh. Godknows Forh. Godknows Forh. Hope I got your name correctly. The virtual podium is yours.
Yes, if you know the number 4, that is it. Just say number 4 and you're fine. Good evening, everybody. I can see Nameti doing what he loves doing best. Practice, they say, makes perfect. He said he's a lifelong learner. And you know, I read something in the chat. When you teach, you learn twice. Congrats for that powerful session you just had. Are we ready? Now, table topics is one aspect of the meeting where members are asked, selected randomly, or those of them that will volunteer out of petrification or something. Sometimes, you know, sometimes when you really don't know how to go about it and know where to hide, you just raise your hands and let the work happen. But that's how we grow here. That's really how we grow. That's how we grow. So I have 7 questions. 7 questions, just 7. I don't know how much time we have. I really want to answer. You're saying something?
Just, yes, I had sent you a message earlier. Would take 3 questions, please, to manage our time.
Okay, so I have 1 to 7. So any 3 of the 7. So who's going first? If I were to attempt any one, I would say number 4 because I like that number 4. So who's going first? Okay, it's like we don't have much time, so I might be looking
number
at
7.
Do we have anybody? Any hand raised?
Number 7.
Oh, number 7. Okay, that's Tosi. Tosi, are you the one talking?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I can see, I can hear that baritone voice. It sounded like Barry White, but it's Tosi in Toastmasters. Fantastic. Question number 7. What investment decision have you ever made that you wouldn't have made knowing what you now know or knowing what you know now? Can I go back all over it again?
Feel free, yeah.
What investment decision have you ever made that you wouldn't go into knowing what you know now?
Thank you. This is DTM. Maybe I should have taken your advice and gone for number 4, but I have chosen my cross and I'll stick with it. What investment have I made that knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have gone into? A while back, I decided to foray into the entertainment industry. And of course, that includes events. So my partner and I were trying to form partnerships. We're looking out for people we could actually work with. And we came across this guy who, you know, just looked so professional, looked so articulate. We struck up a conversation with him. And he had a very sweet mouth, told us about this event, how he throws events here and there for artists, for labels, and all of that, even tours. And somehow he actually had the paper trail to, you know, to show for it. He had the testimonials and all of it. So he gave us this really mouth-watering deal that honestly, we could not turn down. You know how they say, if it sounds too good to be true, probably is too good to be true. Well, brethren, sometimes greed will not allow you to believe that quote because you just tell yourself, it sounds really good. And I think maybe God wants to bless me. Maybe this is how I hammer. And before you know what was happening, we forayed into it. Now, this was supposed to happen within a month. And a month came, nothing happened. We got some stories, oh, it needs to shift by maybe a couple of weeks. Shifted by a couple of weeks. So we are assured this time that, oh, do not worry. It will happen this time. Once again, the date changed and it shifted. And again, it shifted. Eventually, we said, Oga, please give us back our money. We know they do it again. we're tired. And at this point, he said, oh, it will probably take like 3 weeks to get your money back. And once again, he came back with mouth-watering deals that, oh, you know what? Because you guys have been so patient and all, I would even still share part of the profit to you. We're like, see, that one is your business. Just give us back our money. As I speak to you, we still haven't gotten back our money. So, of course, I terribly regret making that investment, as does my partner. And if I knew what I now know, I would definitely not have made that investment. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Whoa. Okay. Maybe then you've not heard Chika's, you didn't listen to Chika's speech. That is the speech he gave us, that test speech. If you had listened to that test speech before then, you wouldn't have gone into it. No problem. Your money, in fact, now that you have involved us, we are going to get that money. All of us are going there. Yes, who's going next?
We have Toastmaster Chituru. She's chosen number 3.
Okay. Oh. Question number 3. Fantastic. Question number 3. Chituru, you have it. What one have the greatest positive impact in your business or career? What one goal, if you achieved it, would have the greatest positive impact in your business or career?
Thank you, Bishop. God knows for that question. I actually find that question to be really interesting. And I wish I could answer it and say one very to the positive thing or something that is going to impress all of you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be disappointed. That is the one goal that I like to achieve in the business that will make me feel. I want to make a lot of money. I desire to work hard for the rest of my life. I know that
I can't hear her.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It's better now, yes.
It's better. Please go
Hello,
ahead.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I'm so
ahead.
sorry. Did you hear me from the beginning? Did you hear what I said earlier?
No.
Please just restart.
It seems very interesting. That was why you were making the very, very point.
Okay, sorry. So I have enough time to start again, yes?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you so much. I find the question as to what I'll achieve in my business investment that will make me really, really happy. It sounds like a question that expects a philosophical, impressive answer. Unfortunately, I'm about to disappoint all of you. I'm probably not as deep as I sound or as I look maybe, but what I want really is to make a lot of money, maybe $10 million, and retire to one island and live the rest of my life in happiness and quiet. I'm interested in businesses. I currently run a couple of businesses and they are still, finding their feet and all of that. I expect and I hope that over the next 10, 15, 20 years, we make a lot of profit, my partners and I, and we make lots of money, so much money that we have lots more than we can even spend. And if this happens, I'm thinking somewhere around, I think $1 million sounds like a lot of money, but it will still finish one day. So I think we can just add 1 0 to the back of it and make it $10 million. I think I could live with that. So if I made $10 million, I'll retire to Malibu, I think, and have like 7 children, have a husband, have a house on the beach, have another house in town, have some houses in Nigeria, because even if you leave the country, Nigeria is always home, right? Okay, and then I also have houses in Europe and in the Americas. And I think that if I had all this, I'll be happy. Yeah, I'll also do my bit to, corporate social responsibility, carry out some activities to help underserved populations. I think this will make me happy. So I'm sorry, I don't have anything philosophical to say about how I'm going to end world hunger and how I'm going to feed everybody in this world. But really, if I made $10 million, I think that would be really, really cool. Thank you.
Fantastico. That sounded like Limbo Island. It sounded like Limbo Island. All right, I have a neighbor. Oh, I really have a neighbor. I'm happy. Fantastic. All right, final question. Who's getting it? Gamira cannot answer question. Okay, he's clapping. So who's taking the final? Chitru, welcome to Limbo Island. So who's going last?
I'm getting to know it. I think I'll be getting there very soon.
Okay. Do we just take anybody? Essay. I'm sure you're seeing everybody. So who's going last? Who's taking the final question? Who?
Our area director, Toastmaster Ufoma.
Oh, really? Wow. Madam, the madam. All right. The madam, do I have your permission to read out the question? If I have, please, can you just take a number?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so what number would that be?
Number 2. I am number 2.
Question number 2. Wow. Right, question number 2 says, what is one obstacle standing in the way of professional development goals? And what are you doing about it?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Said, what is one obstacle standing in the way of my self-development goals and how I'm going about it? I believe that's correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Apologies, my camera is off. I'm driving, but I'm using my phone speaker, so I believe I'm safe. One, my hands are in so many pies at the moment, and I believe that really is an obstacle in itself. I want to be better, I want to do better, but thinking about all the places where my hands or my fingers are, that is an obstacle. How, okay, for instance, I am combining, which I believe everyone is doing anyway, combining the normal work or the normal 9-to-5 work with trying to start up a thriving business and combining that with the demands, the daily demands that we have, and just trying to see if everything can come together and I'll still be on top. Now it has proven that it's not as easy as I thought it would be. And I'm trying to, I speak to so many people. I try to manage my time to see if that would help me achieve what I want to achieve in the various spaces. I think I'm doing better than I was before I started, but I still need to do better. For instance, I actually thought by now I would have finished my second pathway in Toastmasters path. And I'm still struggling. I had to really be intentional to give a speech. And I think I did that the last time. So I'm trying. And I believe I would be better as time goes on. So the obstacle really is too many pies or too many hands or one hand in too many pies, and trying to restructure that would actually help me achieve my goal. Thank you, Table Topics Master, back to you.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. If I have to paraphrase that speech, she told us that what's getting in the way is the octopus strategy. The octopus strategy is getting in the way. So this time around, she needs to give us the old strategy, where the eagle strategy, where she can just focus. The evaluator will tell us better, the Table Topics evaluator. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be in Pecten Toastmasters Club today. I see the Ving DPM. Oh, who doesn't love him? I love him. And every other person on this call, thank you very much. Take it away to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Godknows, for that very wonderful session of the Table Topic segment. It was done with lots of poise and panache. And kudos to all of our speakers for speaking with so much panache. And you guys all show bravery. And like they said, fortune favors the brave. Keep speaking. Yes, right about now, we will segue to the prepared speech segment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who is excited as I am? I am super, super, super excited. Speaker 1 is still on the way. Wow, wonderful. So we should move to speaker 2, right? Thank you for the feedback. Speaker 2 is DTM Godknows Forh. But before I bring him to the virtual podium, I would like to introduce to us his evaluator so that she can give us the objective of the speech. Yes, Toastmaster Esiogene Okerika. The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and good evening, everyone. Today, distinguished Toastmaster Godknows would be speaking on the Dynamic Leadership Pathway Level 3, the second project, titled Exceed Expectations Today. It's a speech slated for 5 to 7 minutes, and it is supposed to be a speech that inspires the audience. It can be entertaining, and we should also, I'm also supposed to watch out for how the audience reacts to the speech, because it's supposed to be about interacting with the audience too. So the plan of this speech is to inspire the audience, and I look forward to this speech. Exceed expectations today. Distinguished Toastmaster, Godknows Forh, the virtual lectern is yours. Okay.
Today is the 15th day of November 2022. Do you realize that we are almost 140 days gone into this current mandate? This Toastmasters mandate. What goals did you set for yourself in this mandate? How well are you doing in trying to achieve the goals you set for yourself, communication-wise and leadership-wise? A Toastmasters year begins on the 1st of July every year and runs through to the 30th of June the following year. And the 1st of July is one day that so many things happen. Some people lose their rights to Club Central, some lose their rights to District Center, some gain those rights. Some become club officers, area officers, division officers. Oh, a handful checked into the district, and it's just fun everywhere. And people step up. Growth in the offing, growth is in the air. But Toastmasters International in wisdom to train leaders that period to ensure that those of them going into office will know, those of them going to office will know what to do. DNA, our current division director, will say, if they don't know what to do, they will do what somebody wants to talk to me, by all means. Come on, it's not possible. I'm talking to my family. So Toastmasters consciously train the leaders so that they can know what to do per time. And after that training, they are left on their own to express themselves, to explore themselves, to grow on their own. But unfortunately, this is almost midterm. And If you check the dashboard is so revealing that some leaders or some personal communicators, people that are on the different pathways track, some of them have grown, some of them have excelled, and some of them are yet to board. They took the baton of leadership and didn't make a move. Some stretched out in pathways and still did nothing about it. Are you a leader in this call? How well are you doing in that role? It's almost midterm. By December, we'll be halfway gone. What impact have you made? What difference have you made? Are you achieving? Are you a member here? Yeah, in July, you told yourself you will finish 3 parts this mandate. Have you finished the first part? What level are you even? Level? Type your level on the chat box, let's see. If you're on the right path, if everything you plan to achieve this year is where you are at, tell us in the chat box that you're doing good by typing 4, 4. Because, I say 4 because I'm Godknows 4 and I'm doing well. I told myself that this mandate, I'm going to get the second DTM in this mandate. And I'm well on course. Yes, the cat's out of the bag. So hold me accountable. Everyone on this call. How many of us here? 22. Hold me accountable. Remind me. Ask me. Before we closed June 30, the second plaque. Oh, this would have been a very super prop. The zinc DTM, is your plaque handy? The second plaque. So everyone on this call, I urge you, I challenge you, remember everything you told yourself. In Toastmasters, we tell ourselves a lot of things. We tell ourselves more than we tell others. Everything you plan to do, everything you plan to become. America would say, be all you can be. Yes, even in Toastmasters, in our various clubs here, in Area 23, in Division K, we can be all we have planned to be in this mandate. It will take us to just reflect. Just reflect. Wherever we need help, there is help in this room. Reach out to a veteran or even a newbie. Yes, we don't have teachers. We don't have lecturers in Toastmasters. We only collaborate. We only collaborate. The key is collaboration. So collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. Yeah, and when we do that, we will go far in achieving everything we have set out to achieve this year. My secret is 3 E's I use. The 3 E's are enthusiasm, excellence, and empathy. Now, enthusiasm is just believing in the belief. Empathy is not sympathy. Empathy is not a cheya thing. It is just putting yourself in the other person's stead and not just feeling sorry. No, empathy. Then excellence, Shell will say, do it right first time. So whatever we do, you do it right first time. So those 3 are guiding me to excellence. I sell those 3 even this evening. Adopt them, operationalize excellence, operationalize enthusiasm, and operationalize empathy. And the result that we so desire to get in this mandate will all tick all the boxes come June 30, 2023. The Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. The DTM, Godknows Forh. What do you expect from a distinguished Toastmaster? Nothing short of what he has just done. Well done. Thank you so much for reminding us of why we are Toastmasters and giving us the routes to take or rather the route to take in order to achieve those set goals we have made at the beginning of the mandate. Someone said, we still push them. Let's keep pushing. We still have some few months, some few weeks, some few days. We can get there. Thank you so much, DTM Godknows Forh. You did that with so much poise and panache. Yes, we will now move to our second speaker. Our second speaker for today is, you quickly took that. Our second speaker for today is Toastmaster Kaine. I hope I got her name correctly. And our speech evaluator is Toastmaster Godwin, who is an engineering professional with wide range of experiences in the energy industry. He is a member of Garden City Toastmaster and Total Toastmaster. He has been the IPP of Total JV Toastmasters Club, and he has completed the leadership development pathways and currently on the motivational strategies pathway. Please, Toastmaster Godwin, kindly come to the podium to give us the speech objective of Toastmasters Kaine speech.
Thank you most graciously, our Toastmaster of the day with so much panache, and good afternoon, Pecten Toastmasters Club. Today, Toastmaster Kaine Diete-Spiff will be speaking from the presentation mastery pathway. And this is her second project at level 1. And she's going to be speaking on a speech titled, What's in a Name? From this speech, we expect to see Toastmaster Kaine demonstrate that she had learned how to review the basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose. And she will demonstrate this by making a speech that is well organized on any topic rather. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, sit back as we get a speech with panache from Toastmaster Diete-Spiff. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Godwin. You came with so much panache and you were delivering with so much swagger. Well done. Now, Toastmaster Kaine, what is in a name? What's in a name, Toastmaster Kaine? Break a leg with panache and swagger.
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name will smell as sweet. This was Juliet talking to Romeo in the famous William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Now, Shakespeare thought at the time that what matters is what something is, not what it is called. And we're going to find out, really, was Shakespeare correct? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good day and welcome to today's session. My name is Kaine Diete-Spiff. Kaine Olaide Diete-Spiff. A name is so many things to us. It serves as our identity. It also serves to connect us to our culture. And so from our name, we can actually tell, sometimes we can actually tell where someone comes from. Now, to link a name to a culture or a person's identity, we need to know how to correctly pronounce our names. So I began to realize that recently, somehow in my 4th decade of life, people started to call me Kaine, as has been done today in the meeting. Kaine or Kan. Oh, how do we pronounce your name? And I have to let them know what the pronunciation of my name is. Some people even ask, Kaine Diete-Spiff, are you Nigerian? And I say, yes, full-blooded Nigerian. So, fellow Toastmasters, I'll just take us on a journey to something that happened to me some time back. Now, when I had my first child about 20 years ago, I had a need to go to a pediatrician because it was thought that he had a hole in the heart. And so on the certain day, I swaddled my young infant, and very early in the morning, we went to the hospital. It was a public hospital at the time, and as you would expect, there was a crowd of people waiting to be seen. And so I get to the hospital early, and I am number 2. Of course, I was very happy and full of panache, so much confidence. I felt, well, I would come out that day early out of the hospital. And so I sat down patiently, waiting to be called. About 8 a.m., here comes a middle-aged lady. She saunters into the clinic at the reception area. She sits down and she adjusts the microphone, ready to start calling out the names. Permit me to say there were over 50 patients waiting to be called, and I was confident that I was number 2. And so she sits down and she adjusts the microphone again, and she says, if you hear your name, come to this side. Oh, we listen attentively for our names. And so she calls the first patient. The first patient walks up and goes over to her left side, as she had indicated. And then I wait eagerly, of course, with so much panache, because I know that anyhow, my name, or my son's name rather, will be the second. Fellow Toastmasters, can anyone guess what happens next? She picks up the folder. She stares at it for a few seconds. Can anyone guess what happened, fellow Toastmasters? Anyone willing? Oh, all right. Thank you, TM Olorunleke. She actually puts the folder under a pile of over 50 case notes. Why did she do that? She did it because she couldn't pronounce Diete-Spiff. You can imagine how I felt. I stood up quietly, I walked towards her, and I interrogated her. I said, why did you have to do that, madam? Was it because you couldn't pronounce the name? And she agreed. I said, you could have asked for help. You could have asked somebody close to you, or just simply called, oh, who is number 2? Fellow Toastmasters, learning how to pronounce names is very important. There could be missed opportunities. Some people have been in a crowd and they do not even know when their names are being called. They could be going for awards and waiting patiently for their names to be called, only for them not to realize that they've been called already. Our names are very important because it tells a lot about who we are. Learning to correctly pronounce names sparks of so much respect. And as Toastmasters, we know that respect is one of our core values. It means that one has put in so much effort and time to actually learn to know somebody better. We know also that effective communication is the first step as a Toastmaster. That is what we want to, that's what we want to learn. But knowing how to speak or how to talk to someone starts with correctly pronouncing a person's name. So what do we have to do to learn how to pronounce names? We should be aware that sometimes when we have names on print, it's really not the same way the name looks on print that it is pronounced. So if we have meetings, we should also go a step further to ask if we're not sure, and if it's not our cultural background, we can go a step further to ask, please, is this the correct pronunciation of your name? We could also try to use audio recordings or digital tools. We have apps that help us learn how to correctly pronounce names. As I wrap up, I'll just like to encourage us as Toastmasters. We need to learn how to correctly pronounce names because we need to engage and communicate effectively with people. Don't be like that lady who, because she couldn't pronounce Diete-Spiff, put the folder under the table. My name is Kaine Olaide Diete-Spiff. And I'm sure some people will be wondering, Olaide, where did that come from? You will get to know in a subsequent speech. Thank you very much for listening, and back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Toastmaster, Kaine, Diete-Spiff. I hope I got it correctly, because all through the speech, I didn't get it again. Oh, wow. Don't worry, I will come back to you. Let me leave it at Toastmaster Spiff. I know I got that one correctly. I will come back to you after the closure of this meeting. Toastmaster Spiff, that was very brilliant. You did it with so much panache. Apologies for pronouncing your name wrongly. And thank you too for sharing with us the importance of proper pronunciation of names, as these are signs of respect. And thank you for sharing the nuggets of going about it. I'm going to be making use of this nugget thereafter this meeting. Thank you so much. Right about now, we move to the segment, the evaluation segment, the segment that I love so much. And I will be bringing our Zig DTM as it takes on the evaluation segment with panache and poise. The Zig DTM, jokes, the virtual podium is yours. Is our Zig DTM on the call?
Hi, yes,
Okay.
I am on the call. Apologies. Suddenly, the batteries in my mouse packed up and I could not find it again to unmute myself. It couldn't have picked the worst time on earth to happen. All right, now that I am here, I also have a confirmation to make. Are we intentionally altering the agenda? Because I thought we were supposed to have something else before we took the evaluations. Is that intentional, or is this a gap?
Sorry, it was an omission from my part.
Okay, so we're still going to have our area director.
The agenda actually.
So with the
what are we
agenda,
going
what's
with?
next on the agenda is
Our
area directors.
meeting.
So that should be it.
All right, so I'll yield this back then, and hopefully my mouse works when I try to unmute again. Thank you. Back to you once again, Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you so much for the point of call back. Now, I would like to introduce to us our area director, Madam A.D. Toastmaster Ufoma. It is always a delight to have you in our midst.
Always a delight to have you in our midst.
Thank you. Thank you,
Madam
TMOD.
You may have the
Thank you, Madam TMOD. Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. And thanks for having me in this meeting, which of course has been filled with great panache. I've enjoyed totally the speakers, and I've enjoyed every session to date. I've not come to witch hunt or to tell you what you're not doing right or what you're doing right and all that. I just have a few points to share with you. First and foremost, I would love to thank Pecten Toastmasters for being the club that they are. I know whenever I come running that I need your help or your assistance, you always show up, you always turn up. So I would, at this point, give you a hand and say thank you for always doing that. I bring greetings from the division, director, and I bring greetings from the three there. So my talk is going to be very short. It's just going to be very short. So your meetings, there are meetings that I know everyone looks forward to coming to. You have a way that you do things, which makes it interesting, which makes it lively. And I'll just encourage you to keep doing that. I would also encourage you to ask for help. I believe the DTM, the ZAR DTM, not the Zing DTM, the ZAR DTM mentioned that while he was speaking. He mentioned how when we need help, we always have that within. So whenever we need help in any aspect, be it in the administration, be it in the membership, be it whatever it is, let's just look within. And if help is not coming from there, just know that I'm always available and my team are always available to provide any help that is needed. I also wanted to talk about the members. I know I had a little discussion earlier with Essie, but I would have that discussion after this meeting with the ESCO. I don't want to bore everybody in the meeting, just to actually say, well done, keep doing what you're doing, keep being the fantastic club with panache that you are. Keep helping me when I come running to you, as I would help you when you need my help. And just keep being you. I've attended a number of your meetings. This is just, you know, a meeting that officially states that I've been here, and that is just what I want it to be. So I'll have a tiny meeting with the ESCO after this, and I don't want to really take much of our time, so I'll stop here. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam AD, Toastmaster Informa. Thank you. Thank you for the words of encouragement. You displayed panache in the manner in which you spoke. I totally loved it. It was like a mother speaking to a child who is doing well at some point and not doing well at some point. Say, no, keep at it. Don't worry. You can come to me whenever you need help. Thank you. That was very soothing. Thank you. We always want to have you in our midst. Thank you so much. Yes, right about now is the evaluation segment. And it's back to you, the Zing DTM, the poppable DTM, Chooks Wambweze.
Thank you.
Virtual podium is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Josephine. Thank you. And I am back again. Thanks, everyone. This time my mouse works, even though I've not found the extra batteries yet. All right. We'll go straight into the general evaluations, but just say thank you to our AD there for those inspiring words. And they sound really simple, but it's interesting how far they go. And I'll make my comments on that now because it's important to just tie it together. I'm not very great at asking for directions. I think most times I tend to exhaust my options. If I shout, Tosin, can you really help me here? And then, yes, Tosin will be, oh yes, of course I can. I could have asked him 5 years ago or 5 days ago, but I'll make sure I've exhausted all the options. Or maybe sometimes you need to step it up a little. And when you've tried once, you don't keep banging on the door, you just ask for the directions. I go into a place and I'm looking for an address. I'll first drive around, get to like 2 dead ends, and then come back to the junction and ask, okay, these guys, do you know this place? Probably I get to only 1 dead end, and then I ask for help. That's the message I'm taking away from area directors today. Let's ask for help and ask for that help early enough. Thank you again, Madam AD. Very quickly, we'll move on to the evaluations for today's meeting. And it's a great point to start with the evaluation for the table topics that we heard today. That evaluation and feedback will be provided by the one who represented our area in the, represented our club rather, in the not so long concluded area evaluations contest. None other than Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James. Over to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zing DTM. Thank you so much. I was almost tempted to say the Zing DTM with small coconut head, but I mean, let's take that out of the meeting. All right, so today I'll be evaluating the table topics segment. I'll start by saying thank you to DTM4 for the topics that he chose. I found them quite engaging, and I thought that they gave a lot of opportunity for sharing and learning. In Toastmasters, yes, it's table topics. We find it's interesting. We want to hear nice stuff. But at the same time, there are guests on the call that want to take something out of it. So thank you for that. Thank you for the excitement that you brought in. Thank you for engaging. And I just absolutely loved how you took it. You also explained what the table topic segment is about, allowing people that haven't experienced it before to understand. First person was Toastmaster Tosin. His question was, what investment decision would you not have gone into if you know, or if you knew what you know now? I loved how he started with humor. It's always a trick to get comfortable. I also love that he repeated the question. He gave a personal story. His speech was riddled with humor, which I personally love. Anyone that knows me knows that I love a good laugh. So thank you so much for that, Toastmaster. I love that there was vocal variety. He said, a month came. So we understood, we felt the feels with you. We knew how it felt when that guy jobbed you. I like that you just drew us in the hand gestures. You were audible, clear video, right on time. You answered the question perfectly. Thank you so much. I really don't think there was anything you could have done better. Maybe just put yourself in a more organized. At first, when you heard the question, when you said, oh, maybe I should have picked, I know that was humor, but maybe you'd have done it in such a way that you didn't feel like you were disoriented. But all in all, it was an amazing, amazing speech. Thank you so much for doing that. Next person was Toastmaster Chitru, whose question was, what goal would have the greatest impact on your business and career? Once again, humor. You get me with humor anytime. I love how she started off with humor. Although she had audio issues at first, I like that it didn't throw her off. She immediately fixed it and came back on track. So that was really good. She was smiley throughout. She didn't seem uncomfortable at all. So I love that. Honesty. I love the honesty with which she brought this speech. I love the plot twist. I was expecting to hear something like, oh, I want to get to something philosophical, like she said, but no, baby girl just wants money. And that's like me, you know. So thank you for really being honest with us there. Thank you for the personalized experience. And I think you're my kindred spirit as regards going to fancy locations. Anyone that knows me knows that I want to go to Santorini. So yes, Malibu is a beautiful location. Thank you. You kept us enthralled. I didn't even know when you ended the speech. Thank you. I just suggest that next time it'd be nice to have your audio sorted out. I'm sure this with tech, you can never really tell, but just make sure that you have all those things in check before you come, so you don't get too disheveled. Last but not the least was our AD, Toastmaster Ufoma. Her question was, what is the one obstacle standing in the way of your self-development, and how would you go about it? I love that she repeated the question. With Madam AD is always, I love that she's always willing to give a speech. That's really, really good. Despite the situation that she was in, she found a way to just give us a speech. I love that she talked about hands in too many pies. I personally like that expression. I've never heard it, but now I'll keep using it. I'll probably abuse it, but thank you for being vulnerable with us. I love that you gave a personal story. I love that it just made us, you almost felt like an icebreaker. I love that you just put us a little bit into your life. What I thought you would have done better, maybe not give a speech while driving. I know that it was on hands-free and all, but the HSC person in me is just saying, oops, you know, and then distraction. I'm guessing you'd have given a better speech if you weren't distracted with driving. But except for that, it was a beautiful speech. I love, like I said, I love the vulnerability. It's always beautiful because then you just make all of us feel like, oh, we're human. You bring that humane side of you, which we can all relate to. So thank you for that. And yes, I love that you were vulnerable so that we can be your accountability partners. Now we know that you're trying to get somewhere, and trust me, after this meeting, I'll connect with you to know how I can personally help you get to that goal that you want to get to. All in all, I absolutely love this session. Thank you so much, everyone that spoke. Looking forward to hearing us again. And back to you, the Zing DTM.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ekuchi, for that robust evaluation, something for everyone. And like we typically say in Toastmasters, when we give evaluations, it's not necessarily just for the people who spoke. that are under or being evaluated. It is for all of us because there's something for each and every one of us to pick towards our next speeches, next project, be it in Toastmasters, at work, or wherever next to find ourselves speaking. Something for everyone there. Thank you. Only additions I'll make is something I really like that DTM Godknows did. And I love puzzles. I love when people connect the dots. And the fact that he was connecting Limbo Island with Malibu was just interesting because Limbo Island is the topic of his tall tale that won our tall tale contest for Area 23 and will be representing us over the weekend on Sunday, representing Area 23 at the Division Tall Tales contest. So just nice to connect the dots there between Limbo Island and Malibu from Chitoro's speech. The only other thing I would add to the evaluation is just, again, that culture of encouraging a guest, somebody who is probably foreign to this thing, coming for the first time, to maybe take up that third spot and give it a try, because that's one of the hallmarks of Toastmasters also, something to look out for towards next time. That said, we'll move on to the next evaluation. It will be the evaluation for the first speech, the original first speech, not the one who came first or which came first in this meeting. What's in a name? Evaluating that will be Toastmaster Godwin. Over to you, sir.
Thank you most graciously, my zingy friend, DTM Chuksumwabwezi. What's in a name? Toastmaster Kaine. I see the clap. Toastmaster Kaine, indeed, you have met the purpose of your project. It was to give us a speech centered around a particular purpose. I'm sure everybody from today's meeting will go home and indeed reflect on the importance of why we give names and why we need to know how to pronounce them very well. Besides meeting the objectives, I felt several things that you did properly. I saw them, I felt them, and I'm going to talk about them. Firstly, I loved the quote you gave. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, from William Shakespeare's book, Romeo and Juliet. It's always a bang when you start with such quotes, and you did it superbly and with panache. Well done. I think despite your topic, this is just your second project, you had the presence of mind to use the word of the day and use it fittingly. That was also very well done. I also particularly liked that you engaged the audience intentionally when you asked, can anyone guess what happened next? You didn't just run through it, you asked the question, you took a pause and you waited for a response and you engaged the responder. That was superbly done. You have the hallmark of a great speaker. Well done. I think a few things could have enunciated the quality of your delivery. Firstly, because you are seated on a swivel chair, I think it's important to practice how to maintain a stable position when you are in a virtual space. You need to practice that and practice it so that you don't distract your audience. Secondly, that beautiful speech, I think you could dramatize it, stretch yourself so that diehard romantics like us will remember how a rose feels. You take a prop and behave like the true Romeo. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Stretch yourself. This is your second project, but you need to start practicing how to use prop. That would really add to the quality of your delivery. Finally, I do love the way you ended that speech, and I took that away. I tied it to the educational we've had today, that one of the things as evaluators we need to do is going before to ask how to pronounce names. That's a better way of engaging with speakers. And I did learn that. I learned, it was a big smack on my head that as an evaluator, I should have taken that step to ask, how do you pronounce the name? You gave us that action, and I'm giving it to everybody. For every time you are going to engage with somebody, simple things like that matter. In summary, I love the way you started. I loved that you engaged with your audience. And I recommend that you learn to use props and drama in certain points in your speech. Well done and congratulations. Back to you, the Zing DTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Godwin Onode. Thank you for that really helpful, really concise, straight to the point evaluation. What's in a name? Thank you, Toastmaster Kaine, for the speech. I'm struggling to find a speech where the case has been made for the speaker even before she opened her mouth or he opened his mouth better than today. Like, we all made your case for you with that topic. You could have ended this speech in 30 seconds and your points would be made with respect to what's in a name. But Toastmasters and guests, that's the beauty of what we do here and what we learn here. I just came off a roll working with a Dutch guy over the last 2.5 years. And one of the things that struck me the most was how he was able to pronounce people's names from different cultures, different countries. And it always amazed me because he showed such respect, such thoughtfulness. And that's what Toastmaster Kaine has taught us today, the importance of that. Nigerians will say, if you can pronounce Schwarzenegger, you can pronounce my name. Let's take that away from here today. Thank you once again, Toastmaster Kaine. Very quickly, our next evaluation will be the evaluation for the speech that was titled Exceed Expectations Today by the Zaditi. And that evaluation will be provided by the baby girl herself, Toastmaster Esther Okereka. Over to you, man.
Thank you, Zing DTM, and hello, everyone. Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Godknows Forh, well done. You have met the objective of your speech, which was to inspire others and your audience today. In fact, just hearing our GE say, exceed expectations today, show you that he already wants to exceed expectations today. So you have met the purpose of your speech. Well done. What were some specific things I loved? I loved your vocal variety. For example, when you talked about how there are some people, they took the baton of leadership. I thought that was really well done. And also when you dramatized and talked about some gain those rights, they become club officers, area officers, I found that really beautiful way of using, I found that as a beautiful way of using vocal variety. You did it with panache. Well done. I also love the fact that you gave a quote, a personal quote by DNA. Even if your network glitched and I wasn't able to get it, always using a quote or sharing data helps in a way to, whenever you're trying to inspire an audience, to show them that these are people I'm referencing. So you definitely should listen to me. And most importantly, you gave us a call to action. You charged us to practice those E's of excellence, empathy, and enthusiasm. You charged us to learn how to collaborate and seek for help. Well done. What are some suggestions I'd have and would like to see in subsequent speeches? First of all, because Toastmasters is a professional organization, we also have to strive for that excellence, just as you have admonished us to do today. When there was network glitches and you had calls that kept interrupting the meeting, a better way to phrase it might have been, apologies, I seem to have network glitches because a call is coming in, rather than, someone wants to talk to me, come on, I'm with my family. Even if we, the Toastmasters family, very appreciate that love and care you show for us. Again, because we also have people on the call who I might just be joining in, but also to maintain that excellence. Apologize to the audience. I seem to be having network glitches. Please confirm you can hear me and you speak on with the call. In addition, another thing about language and not assuming, when you said DNA, our current division director, for people who do not know who DNA is and do not even know which division they are in currently, I think a better way to talk about it, Toastmaster Nelson, who is the current division director for Division K in Toastmasters International Community. Just a beautiful way to introduce the club and to introduce Toastmasters, and that also helps the audience to be able to track, or if I want to cite the quote tomorrow, I know who the first author is. Just as much as I loved your vocal variety, I would also like to challenge you to consider also playing around the lower register. For example, when you talked about there were some people who took the baton of leadership, yet they didn't make a move. Imagine if you said, there were some people, they took the baton of leadership, yet they did not make a move. That would help us in connecting while getting that point you made. In addition, when you asked us about our pathways, have you finished your pathway? What level are you? That would really help us in seeing the beauty, or if nothing else, connecting emotionally with the emphasis you're trying to make. I loved, in summary, your vocal variety. Like when you told us, hold me accountable, remind me, ask me. That was really beautifully done. You know, you showed brilliant use of vocal variety. Thank you for meeting the speech objective and giving us that call to charge to practice empathy, excellence, and enthusiasm as we learn how to collaborate and ask for help in the Toastmaster space. Well done, Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster, Godknows Forh. I know that by the time you incorporate practicing professionalism, even if you have interruptions during your presentation, and knowing to cite your sources or share full details of it, would continue to hold you accountable and ask you as you move to becoming a double distinguished Toastmaster. Well done for delivering a speech with panache. Over to you, Design DTM.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Esther. Fantastic evaluation as expected, practically all the time these days. Thank you very much. In fact, the word or phrase that came to my mind was mic drop evaluation. When you finish evaluation, you just go, mic drop, nothing else to say, guys. My work is done here. That's it, and absolutely nothing to add there. Just a cheeky little bit. Yesterday at our after work session, I'm sure Toastmasters Ekuchi and Tari who were there would remember someone asked a question. I can't remember who precisely, who will cajole the cajoler. As Toastmasters, they kept going. I kept wondering who will time the timer in this meeting. So, anyway, that said, we'll move on quickly to the rest of our evaluations from the rest of our role players in today's meeting. And we'll start off by the grammar police, or from the grammar police for today. Role played by our president, Toastmaster Tari. Please, the grammarian's report.
Thank you, Mr. GE, and thank you, everyone, for those who are still on the call till this time. So we had an amazing conglomerate of speakers today, and it was really difficult picking out any errors or any errors in speech, in grammar. But there were a few that I took quite a notice of, and I will just quickly, since I have just 2 minutes, I'll just quickly go on to them. But well done to all the speakers, the prepared speech, the trainer, and the table topics. Well done to all the speakers. Everyone spoke really well, and that was really great. So one correction I'd like to make is his hobbies involves. I think that should be his hobbies include. His hobbies include being singular. When you're using plural for you're making the sentence that has plural, multiple components, then you need to follow up with a singular. So his hobbies include should be it. And then also, I realized someone had difficulties with pronouncing route or route. It can be either of them. Route is British, route is American. So whichever one you choose to go with, whether British or American English, stick to it throughout your speech or throughout, even while writing, even while sending emails, speak to one kind of spelling, be it British or American. It's never a good thing to mix both of them, right? And personally, I prefer the British pronunciation of things because they're not called the English for nothing. So I prefer the British. And then the third point I wanted to make has already been overflogged, and that's the issue of pronouncing names. So I'm going to leave that alone because I think we've got the message there. Use of word of the day was excellent, excellent. I must applaud everyone on the call. It was really, really excellent. Josephine, Toastmaster Josephine, our TMOD, of course, took the crown and used it the most. In fact, I stopped counting Toastmaster Josephine after some time. I think it got up to 7, 8, and then I lost count. So kudos to you, Toastmaster. Tosin, Chooks, Essay, Godknows, Kaine, for my joy, Godwin. In fact, I don't believe anyone spoke who didn't use that word of the day. And some words or phrases, or some phrases I really enjoyed hearing are one is the very vivacious and effervescent Toastmaster Josephine, and that was said by Toastmaster Nameti. I liked the way it sounded. She sauntered into the clinic. That was said by Toastmaster Kaine. Saunter means to walk in a slow, relaxed manner, and that just describes how the person was actually working. I love that as well. And then, of course, somebody had already mentioned this, your hands being in too many pies. That was another expression I loved. Some of the quotes I also liked and took note of where each time we evaluate, we help to boost another person's self-esteem. I think that's food for thought, and we can go home with that. And also, if they don't know what to do, they will do what they know. And that was by our DTM, Godknows. So those are the things I loved about, concerning grammar and vocabulary today. And that's my report for now. Back to you, Mr. GE.
Thank you very much. Fantastic evaluation. If the word panache was a person and could wake up and attend this meeting itself would say to us that, oh, I have been used today. Has been used. Quickly, we'll move on to the remaining two reports. Let's hear, first of all, from our accountant for today, Toastmaster Tosin Olorunleke.
Thank you very much, the Zing DTM. Today, I had a lot of customers who could be divided into two parts. We had those with the customary pause fillers and those that tried to be sneaky with it. For those of you I did not catch, the long arms of the law will catch up with you eventually, but not today. We had distinguished Toastmaster GK use we had Toastmaster Ufoma use 4 times. We had Toastmaster SA use we had Chituru use twice. We had Toastmaster Kaine use twice. We had Toastmaster Joy use we had Toastmaster Tari use For the people that tried to be sneaky, Toastmaster Josephine, you gave us a yes in between 2 sentences, and I could not figure out why. Toastmaster Nameti, your own word was now. You liked to use that a couple of times. You also used I, and then went on to start a different sentence at some point. Toastmaster Josephine, you gave us a distinguished that I could not really identify why it was there as well. We had distinguished Toastmaster GK give us really, really, I think you could have just given us one of the reallys. We get the point. We had Toastmaster Chituru with you know. We had Ufoma with you know. We had Toastmaster Ufoma, Toastmaster Kaine, Toastmaster Nameti, Toastmaster Esse use so, and so is not necessarily a pause filler, but if it's not necessarily showing cause and effect, then it is a pause filler. Example, he abused me, so I punched his eye. That's how to use the word. And then we had a lot of people use and also. You could just use one of the 2 words. So you could use and or you could use also. That would be the pause filler report. As for our listening skills, I have a couple quotes, but I'll just go maybe 2 or 3. Who said, my system wants to deceive itself today? You can unmute yourself and answer. Toastmaster Josephine. At Toastmasters, we learn to give evaluations with empathy. Who was the first person to say that during the meeting?
Toastmaster Nameti.
Toastmaster Josephine. Who said, I'm happy because I'm not giving anybody any gifts. That's what it means. Who said, whose favorite quote is stay hungry, stay foolish?
Toastmaster Nameti.
Yes. Who on the call was referred to as the shoe collector?
Toastmaster Fumi.
Yes, Toastmaster Fumi. The 3 major roles of an evaluator are what, and what.
Motivator, facilitator, and counselor.
Essay, Yahoo girl. And lastly, who said you can be frank without being fatal? Actually, Toastmaster Nameti said that, but who was he referencing?
David Okun.
Thank you, and that's my report.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tosin. Really well done. Only one really well done. For our timer's report, please welcome with me Toastmaster Esther Okerika.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Chooks. For the training session, Toastmaster Nameti used 30 minutes, 45 seconds. For our table topic session, they all spoke within time. Toastmaster Tosin, 1 minute, 55 seconds. Toastmaster Chituru, 1 minute, 50 seconds. Toastmaster Ufoma, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. For our prepared speeches, distinguished Toastmaster Godknows used 7 minutes, 27 seconds. Toastmaster Kaine used 6 minutes, 31 seconds. All our manual speeches also spoke within time. Our area director used 3 minutes, 12 seconds. For the evaluation, table topics evaluation, Toastmaster Joy used 4 minutes, 47 seconds. For the first speech evaluation, Toastmaster Godwin used 3 minutes, 18 seconds. For the second speech evaluation, Toastmaster Essay forgot to time. For the grammarian report, Toastmaster Tari used 2 minutes, 55 seconds. For the accountant report, Toastmaster Tosin used 2 minutes, 48 seconds. And for the timing report, Toastmaster Essay has used 1 minute, 8 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. Our accountability police with respect to time today. Thank you, Toastmaster Essay. Very quickly for the general evaluation or general report, it's been a fabulous meeting all around, and it attests to the excellence that has been spoken about. A couple of times, different people have mentioned that word today, and it is not perfect to see that that word emanates from a club like this, or it's exemplified by a club like Pecten Toastmasters. And it's just to say kudos, fantastic preparation towards the meeting, all the arrangements. I always love to see a great agenda, detailed from minute to minute. We saw that today, the publicity, emails, everything that goes into planning a meeting like this. We do not take it lightly, especially those of us that have championed things like this. Toastmaster Godwin, myself, Secretary, we know, with all the people that have been VPs before, we know what goes into pulling these meetings together. So we are grateful to our VP and all the role players who have come through today. Really fantastic work today all around. Just a few things I would highlight to make us or help us keep getting better and better. I thought on that agenda we could, and again, as much as I love the detail, the timing for the evaluations did not really align. And that's why we are running a bit late today, because we gave this whole evaluation segment 10 minutes. But when you do the math, you realize this thing is like 23 minutes. But I was doing a decent job, because I'm amazed. My first concern when I saw the agenda was there's no way I'm going to finish this meeting on time. But given where we are now, we are in a much better position than I thought we would be at the beginning of the meeting. So again, it's kudos to everyone who has played a role in this meeting, because we have been inch perfect with the various things we've had to do in the meeting. But just to correct that and make sure that the agenda speaks to the actual time that we would spend in the meeting. We started this meeting right on time. Again, as I said at the beginning, I love the fact that music was playing. I'm a music fan, so obviously music gets me all the time. Dancing Queen, some people were dancing in their minds, so that was fine. I had to just imagine it. We started the meeting about 14 of us, and we picked around 26 now, somewhere around the teens. Again, it's almost like a normal curve. Always good to keep that maybe a bit stable. Those of us that do forecast, say let's keep the forecast stable going forward into the future. But then that's also good. The only other thing I wanted to point out today, the final thing, would be how we do displays. And again, Pecten is excellent at this, because there are not many clubs around who do displays the way we do it. And when I say do displays the way we do it here, is that you want to display your timing. Most times people just display the whole PowerPoint. Then mine is already showing, and I click enlarge, full screen. It's very tacky. But here we do not see that, and that's fantastic. It's excellent. But then to push that forward even further, the points where we want to show things like profiles, if we really need to show that in the course of the meeting, put it on a slide, put every other person's profile on an individual slide. So if you need to show it, you show it the same way you're showing those timings excellently like that, rather than showing a Word document or PDF that people will have to read through and saying things that are not really concerned with the particular segment that you're addressing. That's the only other thing I'll add. Beyond that, fabulous meeting, fabulous organization, everyone. It's been so much pleasure being a part of this today. It's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day, the lady, Queen of Panache for today. Toastmaster Josephine, over to you.
Well done, Zig DTM. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, you will agree with me that our general evaluator, the Zig DTM Chooks, and his quality control team delivered with so much panache. They provided us with constructive and positive feedback. We are sure to incorporate those moving forward. Kudos to you and your team. Well done. Yes, it's been my singular honor to be your Toastmaster of the day in today's meeting. Thank you so much, Pecten Toastmasters Club, for the opportunity. It's been an interesting meeting, and I had a swell time, and I think everyone enjoyed the meeting. Well done, Pecten Toastmasters Club, for putting this trolling meeting together. According to Diana von Fox-Steenberg, style is something each of us already have. All we need to do is find it. Originality is style. Keep being you, keep improving, You are beautiful just the way you are. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, my work here is done. I hereby relinquish control to the president of this highly esteemed club, Dr. Toastmaster Tari. The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you very much. Can we please all unmute and put our hands together for the very awesome, erudite, funny, interesting Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Josephine. You did an exceptional job as a Toastmaster of the day, and we are indeed grateful. Thank you, everyone. Everyone who has come today, thank you. Our trainer, Toastmaster Nameti. I was actually looking forward to a question and answer session, but I guess time also played a role in why we couldn't get people to ask their questions. But please be rest assured that we will be forwarding any questions we get about evaluation to you, and we hope that you graciously take our time to answer them, and then we will post on our platform and people can learn from that. Well, that was an awesome session. I learned a whole lot about evaluations from your simple but very apt presentation, and that was really great. Thank you for coming once again. To our area director, our PQD, our PQD and general evaluator, Toastmaster of the day, VPE, every other role player, all the speakers, both for table topics and manual speeches. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. I want to welcome everyone who is coming here for the first time. I was looking through the list, and I don't think anyone is quite a stranger to Toastmasters. Maybe a stranger to this club, but I don't think anyone here is a stranger to Toastmasters. I may be mistaken.
Godwin.
Toastmaster Godwin is not a Toastmaster. Or he's coming for the first time. Oh. Yes, I thought as much. It didn't sound like a guest per se. But no. Toastmaster Godwin, glad to have you. Glad to see your face. Thank you for showing up and playing a role in evaluation. You did a great job as well. Thank you for coming. Would you like to say anything in 10 seconds about today's meeting?
Fantastic meeting, but I'm surprised it's my first time at Pecten.
I wonder, where have you been?
Toastmaster SA, are you sure? Or that OSCS? OCSC?
It's All City. You always think All City is my club. It's All City. It's your first time in Pecten.
You can't bank on that. The SA is everywhere. But glad to have you, Toastmaster Godwin.
Thank you very much.
See more of you. We hope to see more of you, please.
I'm available. Don't be scared. Great meeting executed with PANACHE. Fantastic role play. I won't do the job of the GE when I play the GE role. I expect to get better. Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to every other person that's Toastmaster Ogochukwu. You're no longer a guest. You're now a member. Thanks for coming. Just a Kewe or Forh. Can you please just say hello? I haven't heard your voice at all today. And Carol.
I heard your voice. Hello. I've always been here. Thanks. I enjoyed myself.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Kewe.
Sorry, my headset was up, so I'm not sure you heard me clearly before.
I did. Was faint, but I heard you.
Thank you. I enjoyed myself. I'm always here as a guest. Thanks.
Oh, great. Please, we need to convert you to a member. Thanks for coming. Carol, can you just say hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Are you a guest? This is your first time? Hello.
Second time.
Oh, I see.
My second time. Yeah.
Great. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. All right. So by way of other announcements, the EXCO, members of the EXCO, please, you stay behind after the call. We'll just have a brief meeting with the area director. I don't think it will take more than 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll be done. Otherwise, I think this is it for the month of November. Our next meeting is on the 6th of December. SA, please confirm.
Yes, but before then, we'll also be having our division contest on Sunday by 4 p.m.
This Sunday,
the details will be shared on the WhatsApp group too.
Great, so division contest, okay.
Yes. Then 6th, yes, it's our Christmas party.
Yay.
And 2 people are going to be completing their pathways, so there's going to be a lesson, and it's going to be hybrid. So I hope
good. So lots to eat and drink. I mean, RSVP. If I were you, I'd make it to the venue rather than join online. Thank you so much, everyone. Have an interesting and excellent week. Keep using the word of the day, panache. and see you in December. Bye, everyone. So you can stop sharing because I can't see anyone's face.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, tongue twister.
Yes, it's fine. They'll practice it at home.
Sure.
Yeah, she
Thank
sells
you,
seashells by
everyone.
the
Sells
seashore.
seashells by the seashore.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.